The Vinyl Man on YouTube.
Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is your Sunday live stream, live from Tenby in West Wales. But we're not just in Tenby today. We've got a bit of England spice with us, with Cam. And we've also got Jack from Scotland. So thank you guys for joining this evening.
All right, nice.
Let's quickly go on the panel then. Cam feels like a regular now. He's been on 3-4 times, is it? I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At least, yeah. But it's probably my 5th time, I think. Probably.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw you, we went to the Bristol Record Fair.
We did. It was in 3D. We saw each other. Yeah. That's good. That was a good day out.
It's always really weird for me when you meet people from the vinyl community face to face when you've been watching them for so long.
Yeah.
And I was quite surprised how tall David was, because I'm 5'10", you know. I'm carrying a lot of weight, but I am 5'10". But when he started walking toward us, I was like, it's like a higher version of David here. That doesn't work
That's
out.
his brother.
Yeah, because he's always sitting down, isn't he? So
yeah.
Cool. Jack, first time on the live stream with me. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the live stream. And it's interesting what you were saying there about people not looking their height on YouTube, because I'm actually 6'5". It's quite hard to believe, probably, but yeah, people think I'm a midget, but I'm actually 6'5".
Yeah.
Cool. Being as this is your first time on, right? The crowd are about to go wild, so just bear with me. Right, okay, so first one to pop up this evening, Richard from Richard's Vinyl Tap House. Hi all, how's it going, Rich? Hope you are well. So this evening's chat is going to be about literally when Britain rocks. So we're just talking about rock music. I told the guys, do whatever what you want to do when it comes to British rock. It's up to you. You could just talk about the 60s, 70s, 80s. I'm kind of all over the shop as usual. But that is the plan going forward this week. So before we get started, though, thought we'd have a quick chat, catch up with some of the VC channels here that you're all aware of. So we've got a Cam first. How's Rhino been treating you, mate?
I spent some money there today, so yeah, I suppose quite well. Yeah, I re-ranked my Rhino collection recently, my Rhino High Fidelity collection, because I've got I actually forgot one record to include in that ranking. I was like, oh yeah, crap, I do have this. But anyway, spent a lot of money with them over the past year and a bit. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on. I'm writing a lot of ideas of videos to do throughout the year now. So there's one really big one, and it's quite controversial as well. But I'm going to do it at some point this year. It's going to be quite a long video, maybe like a 2-parter.
Okay. Are you covering Aqua?
I knew you'd guess it, mate. I knew you'd guess it. Yeah. No. I'll leave that for you. I'll leave.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't take that away from you.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Good comeback. So, Jack, I've noticed you've been buying some records recently, mate.
Yeah. I'm always buying stuff. I'm always hunting wherever I can. I've actually got to the point, and this is not a joke, I've actually lost my fingertips. I burnt them down that much just from scrolling endlessly, doom scrolling on eBay, doom scrolling on Vinted. And honestly, no word of the lie, that's not a joke. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got no fingertips left. I pretty much burnt them away in this for the hunt for that perfect record. But it's worth it.
I was going to ask you about this actually, being as we're on the subject. Do you get much luck with Facebook Market?
Yeah. No, not so much anymore. Probably about 7-8 years ago, all the backbone of my collection, or the loads of the classic rock from my collection, was built up from Facebook Marketplace. I was scoring on there all the time. But then people, I kind of generally found that over the last maybe year or two, people don't put stuff on Facebook Marketplace so much, and if they do, they're asking for a premium for it. Most of the time now, I find that people are going to record dealers and selling their collections to record dealers, and you know, without a doubt, I'd be giving them more money than a record dealer would. But it is what it is. It's just changing times, and people know that vinyl records are worth a lot of money now, so they want to try and obviously maximise on that. But yeah, and to answer your question, I used to buy off it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not so much.
I've never been lucky with Facebook Marketplace because most of the stuff in it is just shit.
So I used to see lots of stuff from Wales. What was the place called? It'll come to me. Mould. Is there a place
Mould,
in Wales?
yeah.
Mould? I used to see sales in Mould all the time, and there was actually a couple that I was tempted to drive down for because they were big collections. And the more that I was buying on Marketplace, the more confident I was getting in buying bigger collections. And I've got to say, I don't think I've ever bought one and regretted it. You know, if you're vigilant enough and make sure that you're not that you don't feel pressured. And the biggest advice I would ever give to anybody buying off a marketplace would be, don't be afraid to walk away. Yeah. Because people get into somebody's house and they think, oh, I'm obliged now to buy it. But yeah, if it's not for you, if it's not worth it, then walk away.
Yeah, brilliant. Harvey, how's it going, mate?
Hey, Caps, how you doing?
Not too bad, thanks. We were just discussing kind of picking up records and Facebook Market and kind of where we get our stuff. Harvey's first time on the show as well, so welcome along, Harvey. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me. Privilege.
So we've been just talking about kind of what we've been up to. We've noted Cam's got an issue with Rhino. He can't stop buying. Jack's also been picking up records and asking me where he's picking up from. So what have you been up to this week, Harvey? Have you picked up? I noticed you went to the record shop. That could look kind of cool.
Yeah, all of the above, really. Online, Amazon, I hate to say it. Juno, you chaps must have used Juno. Loads of record shops. Discogs increasingly too. So all of the above. Not as cute as Cam's Rhino habit though. That looks sick.
Bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's contagious to that as well. So watch out. It's going around.
Yeah, Cam. He'll. So we've come up with a deal now that if Cam's going to order stuff, he'll say to me, "Do you want to order anything?" And we'll save on the shipping.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can get in if you want, guys. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, there is a sale on. I did have a look, but there's nothing really that I.
Yeah.
I'm. This is me tapping out this month. I got so many pre-orders coming. I can't. I think if another envelope comes to the door with vinyl records, I think I may be having a divorce because it's got the stage where she's like, again, what's this? Oh, I don't know that I got it.
That's a pre-order from last year.
Yes, on back order. Yes, certainly. Right, okay. Let me go through the chat real quick. So we saw Richard was here. Warp Dog is here as well. Chris, Jack, good to see you both again. And Cam, nice to meet you. Okay. Here we go. David Atkinson, taking best bits of the timing of the first mention of the Stereophonics. Mate, how do you know I'm going to show it? And then Richard's going, I'll give it 12 minutes tops, David. Oh, my goodness. You know me so well. Right, okay. So, obviously, this evening's theme is going to be British rock. So we're talking all kinds of rock. It's quite funny. Like there's some bands. I was going through my collection, actually, this morning. And I've got a lot of non-British bands. I struggled a bit, if I'm being honest, because this was my idea. I was like, yeah, let's do this. It'd be brilliant. Jack, you in? Harvey, you in? Cam? Yeah. And I'm going through and I'm going, oh, shit. So I managed to pick at the 10 that we're going to discuss. But it would probably been easier for me to do a Canadian or American special, to be honest, because a lot of my music was in the Kerrang era. going to college and stuff. So yeah. Right. Okay. Let's check the comments. I think we're all good. Oh, here we go as well. He's saying, Warp Dog saying, Harvey, good to meet you too. Last comment was before you came in. So there you go.
Good to meet you, Up Dog.
Love is all around. Okay.
Love is all-
Okay. I will go with Cam first this evening. So Cam, it's over to you, mate. What was your first kind of selection this evening that you went with to kick things off on the British rock?
Yeah, so like you, I kind of struggled a little bit, in that I've got a lot of American rock bands, but I was like looking from a collection and saw, oh yeah, you could class them as rock, or they're like a subgenre as rock. So you'll find a bit of a mix of stuff in here. So first band is Gang of Four, and they're absolutely incredible album, Entertainment, just a fantastic record. I got introduced to this in like my early teenage years, maybe even before I was a teenager actually, because someone was like heard me listening to Block Party, and I'm a massive Block Party fan, and I probably bore people on my channel with that. But they said, "Oh, if you like them, check out Gang of Four, because they're probably stealing a bit of their sound," and I can definitely hear it in that. It's very like four to the floor, bass, drums, guitar, very angular, just rock music, and probably like streamed into, will definitely influence that kind of explosion in the early 2000s from over here in the UK of that like indie rock scene. But yeah, I just love this album. Like every song on it is an absolute belter. My favorite is probably Natural's Not In It, or At Home He's a Tourist. And I think At Home He's a Tourist is the first song I heard for them. Just absolutely loved it. It's just a single sleeve. This is like a reissue. No idea when it's from actually, what year it was reissued, but yeah, fantastic sounding album. Anyone who likes angular guitar rock, you know, this should be at home in your record collection. It's an absolute must. So there you go, Gang of Four, Entertainment.
Well, yeah, cool. I think StreamYard, do not play me up this evening. I swear to God. Right. So you've got why am I clicking on? My face is changing. Okay. Anyway, I'll try and pop it up. Here we are. Rob Walker saying post-punk classic.
Mm-hmm.
And then Richard saying that's the one Goth album I need. Not sure why I don't have it yet. So
fair enough.
There you go.
It is definitely the one you need for sure.
Cool. Right, Jack, come on, mate. What have you got? Be looking forward to this one.
I was going to kind of do mine chronologically. So I thought I would start in the 60s. I don't have much from the 50s, but I was going with this. This is Gun with their self-titled debut album. And if you know them, they're like a power trio band, kind of in the same kind of vein as Cream, or maybe a wee bit like Jimi Hendrix Experience. So it's a mixture of hard rock, blues rock, and psychedelic rock. And yeah, really, really good. Some people would consider this like proto-metal. It came out in 1968. Obviously a couple of years before Black Sabbath, and it is quite hard and heavy in places. You might know the opening track, that's the most famous one, called Race with the Devil. So that was covered by a number of bands. Judas Priest covered it, Girls' School covered it, Hendrix covered the riff live. It's got a really like shredding, fast-paced guitar riff. But yeah, really, really cool. As much as it's kind of seen as proto-metal though, there's some really nice orchestration in here as well, some really nice kind of orchestrated psychedelia. But yeah, there's the dudes there, there's the guys in the back. So he was the drummer, this guy Louis Farrell, and these two guys were brothers. They were the Curtis brothers, and they went on to be in a band called Three Man Army, and then the Baker Gurvitz Army with Ginger Baker. Further down the line they changed their name, but yeah, really, really good. There was one big rule with Gun. You could never, ever smoke around Adrian Curtis, or else that hair would just go up like a giant haystack. Check that out. Check that row. So, yeah, this is really cool. It's on Columbia. Highly recommended. If you like hard rock, blues rock from the late 60s, another wee interesting thing. If you look at the cover, it looks like a very metal cover.
Yeah.
And this was actually the first ever piece of album art by Roger Dean. So before he went on to Yes and all the other prog commissions that he went on to, this was his first piece of artwork. And I love this. Look, you've got all these demonic little beasts running around, and it gives a real sense of the album. But yeah, really good. So that's The Gun with their debut. They only did 2 albums. They've got another album after this called Gunsight, which is still quite rocky. Not dials back the psych a little bit, but yeah, not as good as this, but a solid album as well. So yeah, that was my first one.
Cool. Very cool, man. Yeah, it's I love doing these love doing these live streams, but they cost me so much money because I go back and like stream it or listen to it on YouTube, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds really good, and then I end up ordering it. So good choice though. Yeah, I have heard of Gun, but yeah, I like the cover. That's
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
yeah, it's really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah, cracking. Okay. Okay, we got Morton here. Hi, Chris, Jack, and all. So Morton's obviously been on before my live stream as well. And they're saying the Gert Fitz brothers are incredible. So, yeah. Okay, we'll keep it rocking and rolling then. The next one we're going to go to is going to be Harvey. So it's over to you, mate. What have you got?
Thanks. I've actually got a Welsh band. Chris, I didn't do this on purpose, and it's not Stereophonics either. So
Okay, I was going to say.
Badfinger for Dice.
Okay.
Swansea, I think, yeah, all Welsh. I think so. But that's signed obviously to, was it the first band or one of the first bands signed to the Beatles Apple label? I think spotted and discovered by Mal Evans. This is an incredible LP. I don't know if you, I'm sure lots who are on this are familiar with it. It's very Beatles, of course it is. From the poem to songwriting, the big song from this. Well, I say big, but they were never huge with the Badfinger. But the original version of Without You, later by Nilsson. You have No Matter What and I Can't Take It on this too. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was maximizing you because your screen's a bit small. So it's like,
You probably don't want to see this full cover because I might get struck off if
all right, okay.
But the full version of this is a semi, which we don't want on a live stream. I don't think so, Chris. But Badfinger, what an incredible band. Underrated. I think all died. They're all dead, I think, now, Badfinger, and really didn't reach their potential, did they? But probably stretching it a bit as a rock album, it's probably more towards pop. Very Beatles-esque, as I said, but I think this is their best LP. This is an original press, and it hits the turntable quite often. So yeah, no Dice by Badfinger. Nobody knows who that model is on the front cover. Apparently, she can't be tracked down. So hey ho, there you go. My first one.
Cool. Very
Nice.
cool. Yeah. When you said Welsh band, then I started to panic because David's giving me stick already for what not showing Stereophonics already. They're putting bets on you. So cool. I'm not going to show Stereophonics now. Fuck them. But I am going to show a bootleg. But I need to get more into this artist. This is Led Zeppelin. And this is a live performance from Mud. It's called Mudslide. This is live in Vancouver, March 21st, 1970. So there's the front. There's the back. So you got songs like Heartbreaker, Thank You. Let's have a look. Communication Breakdown, Ramble On, Since I've Been Loving You, Whole Lot of Love. So, yeah, this just came on. It would be nice to be on colored vinyl, but it is on black vinyl. So, you know.
Is that a kind of off the desk recording? Is it quite good quality, Chris, or is it a bit like?
Yes, all right.
All right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It was VCLT from Boz, that vinyl channel, sent it to me. He said, I think you need some Led Zeppelin in your life because you've never shown anybody. I was like, well, every time I try to get Led Zeppelin, it's kind of expensive, or the copy isn't great. So, I'm kind of. Jack, have you found any out in the wild? Any OGs? Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, loads. Yeah, about 40 Led Zeppelin 2s. That always seems to come up. I think I've got all the studio albums OG, but not for a while, to be honest. But certainly a few years ago, I was finding loads.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 is the one that comes up most, and it's always there. It's never the RL cut as well. Like,
I found a German press that had the RL cut on one side. It was strange. It was like a what do you call it? Like a transitional press, where it's moving from like one press to the other. So it had RL on one side and just I think like another press on the other side. But I ended up not keeping it. I think it's usually the Killing Floor press that I find.
Mm.
The one where one of the songs is down as the Killing Floor. Yeah. So that was the one that I was always finding. But yeah, those early ones, those Plum editions sound brilliant, I think. Yeah. They're so good.
Something ahead, what a mate with Zepp for its Plum label. I would agree that you can get a clean copy of the first 4 Zepp albums. I would say for less than 30 quid if you look properly.
Yeah, 100%.
And I haven't heard. This sounds great.
I don't have the 4 on Plum. I've got. The funny thing is, people get obsessed, I think, sometimes with the labels and stuff, because I've got 2 copies of 3. I've got a Plum copy, and then I've got like a the label that kind of came out after the Plum label, and the
red and green. Is it red and green?
Yeah, the red and green one. The red and green one to me sounds better.
Yeah.
Than my Plum one. So I don't know. I only keep it because it's a Plum label, but I probably should sell it because I'd get probably a decent bit of money for it. But the red and the kind of orangey green one sounds even better, I think.
Yeah, nice. So
it's just your luck, isn't it? What you pick up.
Yeah, I'm pretty shit. Picking up stuff, I gotta be honest, every time. It's like they can sense me walking into the record shop and going, he's looking at the OG stuff, and there's no price on it.
Some of the record shops are insane, though. I'm going into record shops sometimes and seeing things that you could pick up on Discogs or eBay for, I don't know, say £30, and then you go into a record shop and they're looking for £60.
Yeah.
For it, I think record shops are so overpriced, a lot of them, and I can understand why, obviously, but I don't know. I don't have that kind of money to be blown in record shops all the time. There's definitely, for me, I think there's cheaper ways to kind of boost up your collection.
I
got a question for Jack and Harvey, because I know what Cam's going to say. The answer is going to be no, so I'm not going to bother asking. Record store day, do you 2 attend?
Yeah.
I generally do, but I've got really paid off with it this year. I'm not going to.
Okay.
I looked at the list of things that I must have, and then I put it down for 2 weeks, and I couldn't remember what was on it. That's a bad saying, isn't it? You've run a list, and then you're going to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning, which is what I normally do, with a flat, and get there and can't remember what's on the list. And I think for me, that's a sign that this will be the first year when I don't do it. Anyway, that's me, Jack.
Yeah, I've only been once, and it's not because I don't like record store day. It's my nearest shop that takes part in record store day is an hour and a half away. So that's the main reason. I would definitely always go if I had a nearby store, but it's just too far away. And I went last year, and I've got to say, I enjoyed the whole ritual of the day. I quite enjoyed standing in the line, and I stood next to this guy who had like a massive big long list, and he was like a kind of serious record collector, and he had all his targets, and he was a nice guy to chat to. And I stood in the line for about an hour and a half and chatted to him about music. So I enjoyed the whole kind of ritual of it. What I didn't like was, all the guys, they're so cynical in the way they bought. They were right at the front of the line. There was 6 kind of middle-aged guys at the front of the line, and the minute that they walked out, you could see them all straight away putting their, I think it was the Wicked soundtrack, they were putting it straight on eBay, and me and this other guy were then going on eBay, and you could see all of them just flooding eBay, like £100, £120, and I thought I went through for one album. I went through for the Amorphous Androgynous Alice in Ultraland album. It was the a kind of spin-off from the Future Sound of London. So I went through for one album, bought my one album, and that was it. But it's really cynical just to fill your cart with all these other things that other people would like, I think. And I didn't like that side of it, but the rest of it I enjoyed.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm calling it a day on Record Store Day myself. And I'll tell you for why, right? It's because let's take an example. I've spoken to Richard about this, and I've talked to Cam about this in the past, right? So, for instance, 2 years ago, they had Van Halen live in Texas, okay? It was a Record Store Day release, which was going for £60, right? Double LP, £60. It was on Amazon yesterday, going for £25. The last year's release from Van Halen, live from Wembley, was going for over £60 again last year. It is now on Amazon for £30. So
Yeah.
I don't see the point.
I've got no interest in all those live albums. That's for me. That's one of the things that makes Record Store Day a bit shit. Is just tons of live albums that no one's really interested in. Things like when they brought, like, there's a Ween 3 LP set of like a unreleased album. For me, stuff like that, that's the kind of thing they should be mining, not like freaking Keith Moon's Two Sides of the Moon, which you can pick up second hand for like 10 quid. They should be pulling out those things, all those 90s albums that we've not been able to get a hold of because they were only put out in CD. That's the things they should be focusing on. I don't like it when it's just live albums and just, another remaster. That doesn't interest me. But I suppose for some people, they like that kind of thing. So
I tell you what does my head in is jazz, but we'll move on. And I'm on my own. The other three panelists are going to go, I think it's only me. I'm the only person I know that doesn't like jazz. I think even Liz, my girlfriend, who's a music teacher, she's classically trained. She's in the National Welsh Opera of Wales Orchestra. And she's like, but you listen to John Mayer and stuff, and you listen to this, and you listen to that. It's so close to jazz. And I'm like, it's shit. It's
not fun. We've not found the right album for you yet, or right artist. I think we will find that one day.
Well, I think I've told you this. They sell most jazz albums and ABBA albums in November.
Yeah, I do.
Ready for bonfire night.
Again, it's not that reason.
I think it is November, don't it? They do sell a lot in November.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Season
it is.
10. Yeah.
I'll go with bonfire night.
Because what it is.
So Morden's saying as well, he doesn't like the Flippers. I've seen it with the Oasis box set that came out. Was it last year before?
Yep.
And the record store in Tenby only had like 7 copies, and they just flew off the shelf. And like you said, I could see somebody outside just posting it on eBay straight away, and I was just like, I don't see the point. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Right. I've completely lost track of who's next, so I'm going to go with Cam.
I think
Just to say, I think it is you, mate. To be honest, yeah. Hang on, 2 seconds. Yeah. So, Cam's been trying to find me a jazz album, but I said to him, "Good luck."
Well, you said don't bother, didn't you? I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I knew something like that. I couldn't remember.
I will find one. Cool. So let's go back to rock then, and I'll go to London. We'll go for a bit of punk rock. We'll go with The Clash, Combat Rock. It's in the title, so there we go. It works. This is, on some days, this is like my favourite Clash album, just because it's got so many cracking tunes on it. It's quite a fraught production period for them, I think, as well, in terms of making this album, because of this, not infighting within the band, but maybe a few disagreements. But yeah, just an incredible record. This is an original pressing. The vinyl itself is really clean. It comes with the poster, but I won't get it out because it is fallen to bits and it's been taped together.
Yeah, get the poster. We want to see the poster.
Hang on. Well, if you want, I'll try and get it out. It's a big poster.
It's fine. I'm just teasing you, mate.
No, I was going to show you the edge so you can see like people starting to tape it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
It's
it's
real
fine.
people. So there we
It's
go.
fine, Cam, it's fine.
I'm not going to put it up anyway. Never would. But yeah, fantastic records. It's got Should I Stay, Should I Go? Huge tune. My favourite, Rock the Casbah, and I picked this album up when I was a lot younger, just a reissue of it, or like I think it was a German copy, I think. And I thought, oh, Rock the Casbah, that'll sound amazing on vinyl. So absolute shit. It was so bad. But yeah, this original pressing sounds so much better. I didn't realise this album was actually reasonably well recorded, actually, especially for a punk album. And yeah, the like separation on this and like the mixing is fantastic. Really great soundstage, and that kind of surprised me. But yeah, just a great punk rock album. The Clash were an incredible band, inspired so many groups, and still continue to do that till this day. So there you go. Great rock pick, I think. The Clash, Combat Rock.
Cool. Before we go to the next one, I want to show a quick announcement for my mate Joe, who does it was started doing. It's called, his name's Joe, and they've called it Joe Purdy. So Joe Purdy. So it's a quiz that he does. I know Jack does a quiz as well that we will cover after this. So I will give a quick promotion for Jack as well. But I'm just going to show something for Joe. He's had me on. He's had Rob, Northern Revolutions. He's had Brian, Embryonic Robot on. He's having Boz on. He's had Mark Morris on. He's had loads on. So just going to show you a quick trailer. And then we can go to the next one. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this. So, anybody kind of guessing what it's about?
Let's try Odd Duets for 400, please.
Odd Duets for 400. All right. Again, I'll give you the song. You need to tell me who the artists are, please. Here we go. Say, Say, Say. Brian.
Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney.
Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. That is correct. Yes.
Dirty dog.
His buzzer strategy hasn't worked yet. It's not working yet, but he's still working on it, I think, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So there we go, Joe. He's in Montreal. Going to watch Lady Gaga with his wife on their anniversary, which was kind of funny. He posted, he sent me a picture. He was like, "Oh, we're going out for a nice anniversary dinner. Do you know where he took her?"
In and out.
Hooters.
Oh, even worse.
I said to him, "At least your common sense hasn't gone." Yeah, cool. Right, okay. Let's go quickly to the comments here. We got Christopher from Sweden. How are you? Hello, greetings from Sweden. What's up? We're talking about British rock tonight, so yeah, it's going to be cool. Right, I will go to my next guest, which I believe, if I'm on track here, 2 secs. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard today, but it is doing my tree in. Okay, Jack, help me out. What's your mate?
I've got. It's funny when you were talking about struggling a wee bit for rock genres, because I've not struggled, but it's probably because I've taken the idea of rock very loosely. And I think Cam had mentioned at the start about all the different subgenres of rock, and he's shown punk rock there and a little bit of kind of post rock earlier. So I'm going to show another subgenre, and this is folk rock, and it is Legion Leaf by Fairport Convention from '69. This is probably one of the most influential albums, I think, to ever come out of the UK. Massively influential on the British folk scene that came after this. This was actually their third album that they put out in '69. But if you don't know Fairport Convention, this is their fourth. Their first 3 albums, they kind of looked to America, and they were almost like a British version of Jefferson Airplane before they put this out. And then for this album, instead of looking to the States and taking influence there, let's see this dude. Where is he? Do you see this guy here? Let's see him. This guy here is called, where is he? Here. Cecil Sharp.
Right.
So he was an archivist, kind of like a British version of Alan Lomax from the US, and he went around the country speaking to all the kind of working people who were involved in song. So he basically collected songs. He collected all these ancient old folk ballads and songs that had been passed down through from generation to generation, and he kept them all in this place called Cecil Sharp House. I think he was the founder of, was it the Song and Dance Society from around that time? But anyway, he had all this archive of all these ancient songs. And Sandy Denny from Fairport Convention, she was really, really interested in all these kind of old songs, and she went into Cecil Sharp House and she mined all these old ballads. But instead of doing them like, you know, in a traditional way, they added a rock drum beat, they added electric guitars, they pissed off all the folkies in much the same way that Dylan did, and created a new form of folk rock. And this is absolutely sublime. I love Sandy Denny. What a brilliant voice she has. Richard Thompson on guitar, phenomenal as well. This was their finest lineup. They had Dave Swarbrick on violin, and see that first side. So the first side, you've got Come All Ye Reynardine, which is like a really old song, Matty Groves and Farewell, Farewell. That first side's as good a side one as you could possibly get. It's just absolutely sublime. And unfortunately, after they recorded this album, this lineup kind of all broke off and went their own separate ways and followed all their own interests and paths within folk music or British folk music. And I don't think the likes of this has ever been seen again. But I don't think we ever got the best out of Sandy Denny either. She liked to drink. She had bad taste in men, and a number of years after this, she put out a few solo albums, but she ended up falling down her stairs drunk and smacked herself in the head and died a few days later, I think. So this is such a good album, though. It was on the Witch Seasons label. It was run by Joe Boyd, who was obviously famous for discovering the Incredible String Band and Nick Drake and all these fantastic folkies in the 60s. But it'd be hard, I think, to beat Fairport Convention, and certainly the influence that they had in the whole folk scene, because this is brilliant album.
I know the name. I've come across the name somewhere. I'll have to do a quick deep dive on that one, Jack.
Yeah, it's really good. The first albums, when I said, you know, about the kind of British Jefferson Airplane type thing, don't think of that as a disparaging thing, because it was just a change of direction for the band. But they became far more original, I think, when they kind of followed their own muse, so to speak. I'll tell you one thing about them that I think that would probably make you like them, Chris. Is for me, they're quite they were almost like a British version of the band. So while the band were mining kind of American roots music and, you know, old blues tunes, country blues, and they were doing that thing in the States. At the same time, the Fairport Convention were doing the same thing in the UK. They were mining all these old British tunes. And I would say probably the band's probably got more of a maybe universal appeal. I would say maybe Fairport Convention, I think, are probably more influential. But yeah, both kind of similar, I think, in that they moved away from, if you think about like 67 and 68, but the focus was on using the studio as an instrument and psychedelia and trying to move towards progressive rock. Bands like The Band and Fairport Convention went exactly the other way, and they stripped everything right back, probably followed on from Dylan's John Wesley Harding album, where he did the same. He stripped everything back and just went right back to the kind of roots of music. But yeah, it's a great album. Really, really is. So good.
It's quite funny because I've literally come into the end of the band now. I'm pretty close. I think there's like 2 albums left. I've pre-ordered the last one they ever did with Dylan, which is on Rough Trade. It's on like a blue vinyl, and I think apart from other live albums, I think I'm pretty much caught up at this point. So this might be another way for me to get into another band.
Yeah, excellent. I think they're maybe not quite as instantly. You might not connect with them as instantly. I don't know as the band. I think the band's definitely got more universal appeal. But yeah, just listen to Farewell, Farewell. Such a beautiful song. I think Sandy Denny's probably my favourite female vocalist.
So there's quite a few on you, Jack, that are agreeing with you. Warp Dog is saying, look, Fairport Convention pissed them off. They then came is Steely Span. Is that correct?
Steely Eye Span. There's loads and loads of bands that grew out of the Fairport Convention, and I don't think any of them, they weren't as good as, for me, none of them were as good as Fairport Convention. It was just a shame that lineup never stayed together a little bit longer.
Jess is saying she loves them, and she spent my day listening to
Pentangle. Yeah, the Pentangle are fantastic.
So it's just comments about Jack showing. Nobody gives a shit what the rest of us are showing. I suppose like I'm gonna have to. Like, how many albums have they got, Jack?
Oh, they've got loads. And the thing with them is that there's lots of incarnations. So when Sandy Denny became the singer in the second album, the album before that, they had another singer called Julie Dybel. And then before they recorded their third album, on Halfbrickin', they were involved in a really bad car crash, and their drummer got killed. And then it was right after that they put out Legion Leaf. So they were so resilient. They were a band that took a lot of heavy knocks and kept going. And then obviously, Sandy Denny left, and all these other major players, and they still managed to carry on. So I don't know, people like different periods. I would say that I wouldn't think that there would be many people who would disagree with that being their best album, or certainly this being their best period on. Halfbrickin's the one before this, which is really good as well. But for me, nothing touches Legion Leaf.
So anybody new to them, would you have them to start there?
Yeah, I think so. I never started there, but it would be my favourite. I think someone said here, Christopher said the first 4 Fairport Convention albums are good albums. I would agree with that. For me, the first 4 are the ones to go for.
Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole. So I would probably start with Halfbrickin'. I agree, Legion Leaf's excellent. But who knows where the time goes? Sandy Denny classic, and I think Halfbrickin'. Our voice is astonishing. Then the rabbit hole. Start listening to Richard Thompson's solo stuff after that, because his stuff's fantastic. But Legion Leaf.
I think for me, the thing I like with On Halfbrickin', it's a little bit poppier. They do the Dylan tracks on there as well. The only thing for me is that Dave Swarbrick doesn't appear as much. So he appears on, is it, what's it called again? Is it the Sailors song?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. He appears on that for the first time. But I don't think, it wouldn't be my favourite. Did you mention there, Harvey, Babacom Lee?
No, I didn't know.
I thought I heard you saying that. I must have that in my head. Babacom Lee's another brilliant one. So that's a concept album about this guy, Babacom Lee, who was hanged 4 or 5 times before he died. So it's a true story about this guy who, I think he was a bit of a drifter, going from place to place, and a bit of a handyman, and just trying to get, somewhere to live wherever he went. And he stays with this woman for a while, and I think he ends up killing her. And then they tried to hang him, and it didn't work. So then they tried to hang him again. It didn't work. And I think they attempted to kill him 4 times before he actually died. It's a true story. And that's a really good album as well. Babacom Lee. It's a really interesting story. And again, it's another one of these kind of ballads, all to do with murder and deceit, and very, very English, but really good.
Cool. You got me intrigued. I'm intrigued. So I will report back. Jack, are you doing a quiz this year?
Yes, I will be. Yeah, just about to start recording it next week. So the first few contestants, I've got about 3 rounds getting recorded next week. So yeah, really looking forward to it. I tell you what's some of the fun things about it. It's really fun bringing lots of people around from around the world together to talk about music. The bits before the quiz and the bits after recording the quiz are really fun, and it's nice kind of putting people together who maybe wouldn't normally be in the same, I say room, but in the same chat room. So that's really fun. But the other thing that's good from a selfish point of view is for about 2 months, I don't need to think about making videos. They just happen. I don't need to come up with any ideas, or it's just the channel just takes care of itself. So, but yeah, it was really good last year. I loved it last year. I really liked the spirit that it was played in. I think for me, it was perfect. I like it being competitive, but it was really funny as well. All the guys that were on bounced off one another really well, and it was just played in a really good spirit. So that's what I liked. It was good fun.
Cool. So watch this space, everyone. It's coming soon.
Tune in. By the end of the month, the first ones will be out, maybe even sooner. So yeah, and looking for people for season 3. So get your name in the hat for season 3 if you're up for it.
Cam?
I'll give it a go, mate. I'll give it a go.
Right, Adrian has joined us. He joins me every week. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Chris and panel. So welcome all. Right, okay. Let's keep things moving then, shall we? Or rocking and rolling. See what I did there? That was so good of me. Right, okay, Harvey, over to you, mate. What we got?
I was going to rock and roll with London Calling by the Clash, but let's not repeat what Cam's already covered. But that would be my
Nice.
Instead, though, let's keep it interesting. Right back to 1974, I hated the band Free. I still hate the band Free, and I know that's sacrilege. I find their stuff really boring. But when they disbanded and their singer and one member reformed as Bad Company, this 1974 Island album, this changed my views on rock. It's kind of prototype, quintessential rock and roll, isn't it? And I think it inspired a lot of those US bands through to the 80s, even though it was a 70s album. So everything from Can't Get Enough on this album, to Rock Steady, to Moving On. In Paul Rodgers' voice, I think he's one of the greatest rock frontmen we've ever produced from this country. Up there with Ian Gillan, and up there with Robert Plant for me. So yeah, the first Bad Company album. If there were Martians and they landed on Earth and they said, just play me something that's the prototype UK rock album, I would play this debut Bad Company album. Copies of this, original copies, sound absolutely fantastic. I think it's being released as an Atlantic 75, but you can get one of these original Island label Bad Co's for, I think, no more than £15. Absolutely jumps out of the speakers when you play it. So if I've had a bad week at work and I want to pick myself back up, I'll stick on Bad Company. So obvious choice, but I love this, and I think it's kind of a cornerstone of British rock. Get my flares out when I listen to this. Obviously, it's that sort of album. There you go.
Cool.
Nice.
I've seen that album everywhere, but I just never pick it up. So maybe I should now. Okay.
Yeah. Second LP Straight Shooter was kind of float. I mean, they made a good number of excellent albums in the 70s. Actually, Straight Shooter is an excellent album. What else did they release in the 70s? Shooting Star. What was one of the Bad Company in the 70s? Anyway, back to that. Go on.
So David is agreeing with you there. He's saying Bad Company is an essential album. So yeah. And also Chris is saying I really like the way I choose from the Bad Company album. Yeah. And then Adrian's saying damn good album. So well done, Harvey. A lot of people agree with him, mate.
It is. I think it is a touchstone album up there. I think with the Deep Purple's in Rock or this few Led Zeppelin albums. So I'm quite surprised you don't have it, Chris. You should put that on your list.
This list is getting bigger and bigger.
You're in trouble, mate. You're in trouble.
It's shit street.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get a PO box, don't I? Instead of it coming to the house constantly. But yeah, okay. Okay, we will go with this band, I think. Seen them quite a few times. You could class them as glam rock. Don't say anything, Cam. I know you know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
A bit of darkness in your life. So this is their newest album. And this is called Dreams on Toast. So if anybody recognizes this guy, his dad was a famous drummer as well. Any ideas?
I know. I'm not going to say.
Any takers before Cam takes it?
Is it John Bonham's son?
No, Cam?
It's not far off that, to be fair, in terms of how big the band were. If anyone wants to have a guess.
Harvey, any idea?
Got a clue? Keith Moon, maybe? I don't know.
Go on, Cam.
I can't remember his name. The guy, his son's name.
Yeah.
Obviously, the guy from Queen, the drummer from Queen.
Oh,
blanking.
yeah, you can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, he does look like him, doesn't he?
Yeah, so I remember I first bought this and I was sitting down having a drink and I was thinking, God, I've only had one pint. My eyes are going funny, but it's all like misty. So it gives the impression. Now, I don't know if this is a print error or he's really trying to confuse people here, but it's, can you see this?
Yeah.
I even had to call Mrs. over. I was like, can you read that? I can't even see this. He's like, how much have you drunk? And she was like, oh, yeah. So, so you got Rock and Roll Party Cowboy. The Longest Kiss was a big one on you as well. Weekend in Rome, Walking Through Fire, Cold Hearted Woman is also a good one as well. So, pre-ordered this from the band's website. So, got it signed. I need to stick this up in a poster somewhere. So,
Nice.
got that. It came... Right, I love doing this game. Let's do a game real quick. So, from this, what color or what splattered vinyl do you reckon he was on? I'll give you a clue. There's no blue on it.
Blood red.
Pink.
Okay.
Orange. There we go. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's...
But how does that make sense?
Is that his tie colour? Are they just really...
It's got to be, haven't it? It's got to be his time.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, bit of the darkness. I could have picked Permission to Land, which is the, famous one. But that's another band that's not big in America or across the pond.
Have you ever watched his YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Pretty entertaining, isn't it?
Mm.
He was on, I watched the interview. I can't remember his name. But do you know the guy that's been done by all these music companies for showing music on his YouTube channel? He's taken it to court and that. Do you know what I'm talking about, Cam? Do you know his name?
Yeah, is it Rick Beato? I'm going to pronounce.
Yes,
Oh,
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Well, he had Justin on the other week, and they were talking about music companies and what they expect. If anybody hasn't seen it, go back and watch it. It's really, really, and you can imagine Justin's funny in it. He's put his twist on it. But that was Dreams on Toast by The Darkness. So don't show it very often. So I thought I'd give it a show. Played that a lot last year, so really enjoyed it. So cool.
They're meant to be an excellent live band. I wouldn't mind seeing them.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw them live in Cardiff back in 2002 when Permission to Land was big. And I'll just give you some idea. Justin came out on a stuffed tiger across the crowd in spandex.
Nice
Naturally.
So I remember holding my pint and going, okay, we're going there tonight, we?
Yeah.
Crack on then. Let's crack on. Right, okay. Cam, over to you, mate. What's up
Sure.
next?
Let's go down to sunny Newquay. So I'm going to go with the bands that I think are starting to get quite big in the UK. It's a band called Wonder Horse,
Oh yeah.
and they are, I'd like to describe them as like rock, indie rock, alternative, sometimes straying into like hard rock, I guess. But yeah, I love this band. I love their debut album, Cub. It's just a fantastic record. It's probably my album of the year when that came out. And this is their sophomore album called Midas. Yeah, just a fantastic band. They're a 4-piece, very similar in sound to like this album sounds a bit like In Utero era Nirvana,
Right.
but there's some cracking like kind of like pop rock tunes in here as well. I think if there's a track that I would say to pick and listen to first to give you a real idea of what their sound is like is July. That's a cracking song. And Midas as well is a fantastic tune as well. Just really like instant, very much like Nirvana was, like very instant. You know exactly what you're in for when you listen to them. It's on like a yellow vinyl. Yeah, just a fantastic band. I think they will be quite big. They supported Sam Fender a few times as well. Yeah, just a cracking band. I can't recommend them enough. If you like heavy like guitar music with like really like throaty kind of vocals, I guess, vocal delivery, and songs about mental health as well. It's just a cracking album. So Wonder Horse and Midas.
It's
There
a
you go.
good cover.
Yeah, it's nice.
Really good. Yeah, good photography there.
Mm,
Good band. That's
There
their
you go.
second 2 albums they made.
yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's the second one.
It's good to see a band actually putting photography on an album, not AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't get into that. Right. Okay. It's over to Jack next to show me something I should own on vinyl.
Oh, you might have this. You probably do have this. See, before I show it, can I just say something else? I've just seen Alex from Beer and Vinyl coming in, and I just want to promote this Bacchus cherry beer that I'm drinking. He does fantastic beer reviews, and I feel that mine are always a bit on the shallow side. So this is what I've got, Alex.
Sorry, 2 secs. Hang on. I don't know why he keeps doing that.
Comes in what looks like a wine bottle.
Yeah.
Clarity, very dense, dark red. Top notes are cherry. When it hits that back palate, it just explodes. I hope I'm doing that justice, Alex. Not
Nice.
the level that you can do it, but I'm trying. I just want you to know I'm trying. So yeah, this is a cherry beer from Belgium. I got in Tesco's, and it's really good.
On Jack, just quickly on that note, I'm just going to promote Alex real quick, right? Because he's just released his own merchandise. Guys, I've got mine. I haven't got it on. Sorry, mate. It's in the wash. I don't put clothes on. I got to wash it first. But check this out. It's beerandvinyl.com. So, Alex, you owe me big time. There you go. Alex, you owe me.
Fantastic. I did actually reach out to Alex to see if he could do a beer and vinyl gravy boat. I'm in the market for a new gravy boat. So hopefully you can sort me out, Alex. While we're on promotions, can I just promote my own thing from my own channel?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
So these are Vinyl Voyage cupcakes. They're available in all good bakers over the next 20 days or so. So yeah, get your hands on the Vinyl Voyage cupcake.
Nice.
A little slice of heaven.
Where
So,
can we get them from?
everywhere sells them. Right, moving on. The Stones, some dirty blues, Let It Bleed from '69. This came out obviously right in the middle of the Stones' golden run of albums, just after Beggar's Banquet, and yeah, tremendous stuff. I think when you get to this era of the Stones, Andrew Lowe Goldman, their manager, had kind of started to loosened his grip. They were no longer a singles band then, and they were pushing forward into whatever kind of American roots music they could delve into. So this has got everything. Obviously, absolute bangers like Gimme Shelter with that amazing Mary Clayton vocal. Midnight Ramblers are cracker as well. You can't always get what you want, where they use the London Bach or choir. And I was reading a little bit about that the other day. It was saying that, you know, they've got that choir at the start of You Can't Always Get What You Want, but this was like right at the height of the Rolling Stones drug scandals. So after they sang on this, the choir totally tried to distance themselves from this album and pretend that it wasn't them, because they didn't want to be associated with the debauchery of the Stones. But yeah, just tremendous stuff. This is obviously the last one that Brian Jones plays on, and it's the first one that Mick Taylor plays on. So a transitionary album from the Stones. You've got this great kind of surreal cover with this weird cake with the pizza on the tire, and the cake was made by Delia Smith. So Delia Smith actually made this cake.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, really weird. So this is cool. It's not a first press. It's an early stereo press that I've got, but I picked this up for a £5.
Nice.
So, absolute bargain. Easy VG Plus. It's got the poster as well, which is pretty much minty. I'll bring that out. Let's break out the poster. Yeah, said they kind of experimented so much more with that album, even on the singles. Like you've got, I love that version of Country Honk, where they did obviously the single Honky Tonk Woman, and then they did a country blues version. And one of my favourite all-time Stones songs on there as well, Monkey Man, which is just so sleazy and just sums up like kind of late 60s Stones. So there you go, as the main man, Mick. The rest of the boys there. No Brian in the picture.
Wow.
Yeah, love this album. Nice. One of my favourites. Not my all-time favourite Stones album. That would go to Sticky Fingers. But yeah, a beauty nonetheless.
You've got to give it to the Stones. They got the most iconic album artwork out there. It's got to be up there. Like,
yeah,
they know how to promote. You know. So.
Yeah, I think people seem to think that this album title was like a kind of nod to the Beatles, but I think it was to do with a bit of studio banter, a bit of studio conversation, where I think they'd been recording for hours and hours on end, and I think Keith Richards was absolutely told he couldn't do any more. And when he asked if he could continue, he said, "I'm just going to let it bleed." And that was supposedly his comment. I'm just going to let it bleed. I'm going to kind of play through the pain barrier and see what happens. But yeah, I love all the documentaries from that time. And then obviously they went on to Sticky Fingers, and then Exile on Main Street after that. And the Exile on Main Street stories are just amazing, with all the kind of crazy stories in that chateau in France. Just a brilliant period for music, I think.
Cool. Right, let me just go through the comments real quick. So people have started getting their merchandise already. Richard saying he ordered his, and this one's for you, Jack. Cupcakes. Yeah, I was like, you said you can get them from everywhere. I was like, I didn't see these in Aldi.
Oh, sorry.
And Thomas is saying £5 with poster. Wow. He said, I've got the mono copy. So
Yep. Thomas, I also got at the same deal. I got an early Sticky Fingers with the zipper as well, and that's as in good condition as that. So that was probably 6-7 years ago. I picked them up, both of them, for £5.
wow.
Okay,
Where are you getting these from, mate? Where are you
Marketplace. That was Marketplace.
yeah.
I've never seen anything like this. So cool. Right. Harvey.
Yeah, we're obviously on the same wavelength because I was going to pick Sticky Fingers by Rolling Stones with his on, but bloody hell, I paid £110 for mine. So I need to know what shops you're going to, Jack. For your... But I'd agree with Jack. I think the iconic Stones period probably starts with Becca's Banquet through Let It Bleed is an amazing album. Jack's right. Through this album, and I would see Exile on Main Street. I mean, they've made some great albums since, but at the top of their game, where they really started to tilt and become, I think, the best rock and roll band in the world, and pull away from that being in the shadow of the Beatles. But I mean, look, it's a toss up really between these two albums there as well. I've got a stereo and a mono, but again, I couldn't get one with a poster in. But everything from the sequencing on Sticky Fingers to Charlie Watts drumming to the songwriting, and Mick Taylor, you're right, is fully in situ by the time we get to Sticky Fingers. This is an amazing LP. Classic Andy. Again, that artwork thing. This is the Andy Warhol Rolling Stones cover, of course. But yeah, stereo by this stage. There's no mono Sticky Fingers. But actually, Jack, the Let It Bleed, your stereo, I think the mono was just a full down of the stereo anyway, so I don't hear that much mono I've got. But yeah, Sticky Fingers, Rolling Stones, probably my favourite band in the world, and they're close to at their peak, I think, by the time you get to this stage.
Yeah, that's the best one for me. Sticky Fingers is, for me, Moonlight Mile. That's probably my favourite Stones song.
Yeah, amazing.
Phenomenal.
Amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, and then there's also that story that nobody knows how the Flying Burrito Brothers came to record Wild Horses, which is a Stones song, before the Stones did on Sticky Fingers. So there's that kind of mythology around the track Wild Horses. But yeah, track to track, note to note, it's an incredible LP.
Do they not say that Graham pretty much wrote it? Graham Parsons wrote it, and I think it was like Keith Richards kind of claimed it for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he died not long after that, didn't he? So around the time, so couldn't really dispute it.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it was Graham that wrote it, and obviously they were good friends. But once he died, Keith's like, "Fuck it, I might as well just say it was me. I'll claim it for myself."
Imagine, yeah.
Beautiful song though, beautiful song, and Dead Flowers as well. What a song that is!
Oh yeah.
Great. Still the best live band I've ever seen, and that was only 11 years ago in Coventry, not long before Charlie Watts died. Just stage presence was just off the wall for those who haven't seen the Stones live. Amazing live band.
I saw them. I think it was about 92. I saw them, or 93. It was round about Bridges to Babylon tour, and I saw them in Murrayfield. And I remember the support band was Sheryl Crow, and I didn't really have nothing against Sheryl Crow, but not really any interest on her. But she come on, and I thought, oh, that sounds okay. And then the Stones come on and just absolutely blew her away. It was just like, what a different level. Like the amount of power that they were generating through just every song. It was phenomenal. Just what a stage show, and obviously the cut of their songs. And they could have done like 5, 6, 7 sets of just complete bangers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You agree. And I think it's partly just that X factor, but also how long have they been touring for now? 60 plus years. You're doing by the time you've been touring for over. But yeah.
Do you ever watch Keith Richards when he plays now as an old guy, and he's got his fingers look like twiglets. They're like knobbles where they shouldn't be. Not like they don't look like a normal person's fingers, but it's how effortlessly he just looks like he's like this. playing
Yeah.
the guitar, and it's like the best sound ever's coming out. And I just think, how does he manage to do that? Like with these like deformed fingers, he's barely moves them. He's just like that, and then there's just like this phenomenal sound coming out. He's just like I would agree with you. The best rock and roll band of all time for me.
Yeah, it's worth reading Keith Richards' autobiography just for the last
Love it.
read. Read, if you haven't read Life by Keith Richards, it's worth reading.
Yeah, I've read it. It's really good.
It's
Really
so
good.
good. It's really good.
Right, it's time to piss off all the Rolling Stones fans now and show a real band. So here's the Beatles.
Nice.
Now, to be fair, I'm not a massive Beatles fan. I am a bigger. I prefer the sound of the of the Rolling Stones. I do. I prefer the whole sound. I've only got a few albums on them. I haven't got Abbey Road. I haven't got any of that. It's mostly the kind of B-sides I've got. Because I am the greatest hits guy in the vinyl community, I had to show the number ones. So here we are. Here's the front. Here's the inside. This does come with posters. I can't find the posters anywhere. I pulled them out somewhere, and probably the kids have drawn on them. But you got some good tracks in here. Love Me Do, From Me to You, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Can't Buy Me Love, Hard Day's Night, 8 Days a Week, Ticket to Ride, Help Yesterday, We Can Work It Out, Paperback Writer, Yellow Submarine, Eleanor Rigby, Penny Lane, All You Need Is Love, Hello Goodbye, Lady Madonna, Hey Jude, Get Back, The Ballad of John and Yoko, Something, Come Together, Let It Be, The Long and Winding Road. So if you want a greatest hits, this is a pretty good one to have.
Yeah.
So number ones. But yeah, it's I do like my favorite Beatle is Lennon. I can't listen to Paul. It just, I don't know what is going on there. But yeah, okay, I do need more Beatles, but I got the greatest hits, mate. I'm a hits guy. Just chuck it on. I just want to listen to hits. If there's an album out there I want to get, then obviously I'll get it. You know, I think Richard's still upset because I bought Feeder's greatest hits last week. I didn't buy the actual albums, but yes, there you go. There's mine, Beatles. But I do now. There is a Rolling Stones reissue of 40 Licks coming out in May on coloured vinyl. So I'm quite tempted to start there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Why not?
So
you don't know Beatles albums beyond that? Beatles one, then, Chris? Beatles LPs, other than that?
I got some bootlegs.
Okay.
I got some bootlegs. I can't tell you top of my head what it is. If I'm going to put I enjoy listening to this on a Sunday morning when I'm cleaning records and stuff. I'll put this on. This is kind of one of them albums where it's hit after hit after hit after hit. Sometimes that's just all I'm looking for. Literally.
Do you skip party tracks then when you play it? Because you said you don't like them.
The only one I skip is Yellow Submarine because it's a bit pointless.
Yeah, okay.
And when that's stuck in your head,
Yeah.
hard to get out. You're singing Yellow Submarine all day. People look at you stupid.
You've done it in my head now.
Right. Okay. Cam.
Cool. I was going to recommend a Beatles album, but there's no point, is there? 'Cause I don't think. Well, they're one of those bands that just didn't release a bad album, but you know, they had such a short, like the Smiths to some degree, they had such a short kind of tenure together. It was kind of impossible for them to not release a great album. But then when you listed off all those hits there, you're like, bloody hell, what a career they had. Anyway,
In a short amount of time.
yeah, incredibly short. Yeah, too short. Anyway, I've not picked the Beatles on purpose because I did that last time. I think we did one of these, and it felt like the obvious pick, and everyone groaned, I think, when I showed them. So picked a different band. Let's go to London, and I'm kind of cheating because one of the members is American. We're going to go with the Police. This goes to the Machine. This, I'll be controversial and I say this is what I think is the best Police album. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but I absolutely love this record. It was very much a I think we talked about this a lot tonight, actually, a very transitional record for this band. There was just a real change in sound, started to use the studio as an instrument, and just, the technicality of the drums on this record just blow me away. Absolutely fantastic. Andy Summers takes a bit of a back seat to some degree on this record, or it sounds like he does, guitar-wise. So is it a rock album? I think it is, because they're still technically a rock group, but then they drew influence from loads of other genres. But yeah, one of the greatest bands of all time, I think, is The Police. One of the greatest UK bands, at least. My favourite Police album. People will probably come at me for saying this is my favourite one, but I love it. It's absolutely great. So there we go. Police, Ghosts in the Machine.
I agree with that. And Synchronicity is the one that people point to, but that's quite patchy, actually. Have you heard Mother from Andy Summers?
Yeah.
Whereas that's a more consistent LP, I think, Cam.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't get. I like Synchronicity, but yeah, I don't get why people are like, that's like the magnum opus. Like, nah, this is it for me. There you go.
I've got a Police album.
Greatest hits.
Yep.
Yeah. Good there. That's good greatest hits, though, I bet.
I was this close to picking it. And because we had Harvey on, I was wondering, I wonder if somebody's going to pick The Police. And I didn't want to show a greatest hits because you lot are better at showing stuff than I am when it actually comes to albums, rather than me going, hey, greatest hits. Actually talking about the album. But cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Why has Sting got a reputation as of being a TWAT? Is it? I know he's pompous in the way that Bono has, but he's got a really bad rep, Sting, hasn't he? And I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, he has.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe I always wonder.
So Richard's saying you, Cam. Why does that keep happening? I keep clicking on the comments, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Rob Walker's saying.
Yeah, I think Rob said that in the chat the other day. I'm like, yeah, I like it, but that's better for me.
Mind blowing.
Adrian, yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Every time I click on a comment, right, it's pulling my face up. So I don't really know what's going on here with StreamYard tonight. I'm having an absolute meh. And here is Liz, my partner. How's it going? Hiya, Liz. Right, okay. Let's go over to Jack and see what he's pulled next. So over to you, mate.
So the last few I've shown have been, I suppose, pretty big bands, quite or iconic bands. This is a little bit more obscure. This is from the 80s. The band's called The Prisoners. This is their fourth album, I think, called The Last Forefathers. So if you don't know The Prisoners, they're like a garage rock, blue-eyed soul, mod, neo-psych band from Rochester in Kent. And they're absolutely fantastic. Cult underground band, but they should have been much, much bigger, in my opinion. If you like the Small Faces, you would like this. Very, very heavy on the Hammond organ. So Harvey might know if he doesn't know this band, I think he would know the band that evolved out of this. So the organ player for The Prisoners was James Taylor, who then went on to form the James Taylor Quartet, the Acid Jazz band, on the Acid Jazz label. But this is not really like that. This is kind of got a punk attitude. The singer Graham Day has got that kind of brilliant blue-eyed soul mod kind of voice. Great guitar work, a little bit of neo-psych in places, and that song Night of the Nazgul. But yeah, just a really cool album from a cool scene. I don't know if you know the Medway scene from Chatham in Kent. So a lot of these satellite towns around London put out a number of bands. So you'd have The Prisoners, The Dentists, Wild Billy Childish, who was like a bit of a garage aficionado in the 80s. He had loads and loads of different projects, like the Milkshakes. Was he in the Mighty Caesars? I think he was in them. the head coats, the head coatees. There's loads of them. It's a massive, massive garage scene in the 80s, and the Prisoners were one of those bands. But yeah, if you like the Small Faces, you would like these guys. Really, really cool. And like I said, they deserve to be a lot bigger. This is on the Own Up label. And a lot of this stuff you can pick up pretty cheap. I think I got this for 15 quid. So it's not expensive stuff. But if you like garage rock, you like the Small Faces, you would like this, the Prisoners.
Cool.
What's the album called again, Jack?
The Last Forefathers.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool stuff. It's I think it's got that kind of timeless sound to it. It doesn't sound, obviously, when you think of the 80s, you think of the decade of the megastar, Madonna and Michael Jackson and all that kind of thing. And it's obviously as far away from that as you could possibly imagine. But yeah, great British garage rock, and the 80s was a brilliant decade for garage rock. There's so much good stuff, but that's got a real mod feel to it as well. That's probably the kind of overriding vibe you've got. In fact, it's not a Hammond. I think it's like a Continental Vox organ.
Yeah.
And then you've got just brilliant kind of shredding guitar work. Yeah, really, really kind of R&B, Small Faces sound. Yeah, it's really cool.
Nice. Check it out.
If you like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I'm writing it down.
Sorry, Harvey, what were you saying then? You broke up.
Sorry, yeah. Is that easy to pick up, Jack, or is it quite expensive and rare?
No, I don't think so. I got it for 15 quid on eBay. I think you would get a copy. That's like better than VG Plus. You would get it on eBay or Discogs for I think 20, 25 quid. I don't think that's ever been reissued. I've got a feeling it's not been reissued, but it's not going to cost you like 50 quid or 60 quid or something like that. And to be fair, most of that stuff, the head coats, the head coatees, I love that band. Do you know what's her name again? Oh, I'm having a moment here. I'm having a senior moment. What's the name of the Holly Golightly? You know Holly Golightly that sang on the White Stripes song? That's probably where she's best known from. Well, she was a backing singer, I think, for Wild Billy Childish, who was the kind of head of that scene. He's millions of bands, millions of offshoots, and then she did her own all-girl group called the Head Coatees, where they play. It's like an all-girl group playing garage rock. It's really cool, and all that kind of stuff you can pick up for 15 to 20 quid. It's really good.
I'm just quickly going through the comments here so I can just catch up slightly, guys. Right, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm a bit behind. Okay. So Rob saying all police are great. So there we go.
Yeah. Fair point.
There's no need for that, was it, Liz? It's the only way I get to talk to him is on a Sunday through the live chat. Okay, David Atkinson is saying Sting is amazing throughout the Police and his solo career.
Yeah.
And Sting lover. So yeah, cool. What else we got here? So you just give it a quick listen. Decent, he said.
Yeah, if I was to recommend it to anyone, it would have been to Rob. I know he likes kind of all his mod type stuff, so I thought he would like it.
Cool. Okay. I don't know why this keeps moving. The screen just keeps moving randomly. It's doing my treeing tonight. Okay. Harvey.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring it reasonably up to date with a band from Bristol. This is their 2017 debut from Idols, and it's Brutalism. So if you look it up, it's down as post-punk, but it's basically punk if you haven't heard Idols. But the interesting thing is you get this really hard-edged and incredibly heavy punk sound, but their lyrics actually are quite thoughtful. It's quite a left-wing socio-political album. I mean, how many punk bands would have a picture of their mother on the back cover of the album who had just passed away? But it's incredible. If you listen to the lyrics, it's almost a juxtaposition with how the music sounds. I mean, because it lives up to its title in terms of sonically, Brutalism by the Idols. It's a really hard-edged album, and they've kind of tracked away from that a little bit the last couple of albums, and it's just keyboards of all things. But if you like hardcore or hard-edged punk, maybe things like Black Flag or Big Black. I mean, it's very British sounding, but try Brutalism by Idols, their debut album. I don't think they've bettered this album, about 4 or 5 albums in it now, I want to say. But yeah, Joe Talbot, the singer as well, I think he's the main lyricist. And as you can almost write down the lyrics separate to the music, some of it is kind of really human-centric and thoughtful, as opposed to this like driving, hard-edged punk sound. But it's all of the hooks are there too. It's not just bludgeon, but I don't know if any of the panel are familiar with Idols, but this is a fantastic debut album.
Yeah. I've viewed a few songs of the Idols. Do like them a lot.
Really good. I haven't seen them live, but would love to.
They're always advertising on Instagram. Every advert seems to be the Idols or Razorlight, or it's just every time I go on there and I'm watching something, I'll scroll up and then all of a sudden, Idols.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe they're trying to tell me something, Harvey.
Say again, sorry.
Maybe they're trying to tell me something.
Yeah, maybe. I'd sooner listen to Idols than Razorlight. I remember hating Razorlight. That's just my opinion.
So up next, just kidding. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's keep moving. Now, I loved this band when they first came out. Not a big fan anymore. But this song was everywhere. It's the Arctic Monkeys. Absolutely massive when they first came out. This is Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not. So, some bangers on you. Anybody across the pond who hasn't... Well, they should have heard the Arctic Monkeys, surely. They're kind of big over there, yeah? Yeah.
In the US as well.
The new stuff is crap. I don't know what's going on there. They lost me a bit on the last album they brought out, which is a picture of a car in a 3-story car park in grey. So
yeah, I quite like that. I quite like the newer stuff. I don't mind it. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think they had to move on. They couldn't keep singing about, trying to get into nightclubs as underagers and starting fights in taxi ranks. They had to. So I didn't like the Cars, not as good, but the one before that, what's it called again?
Is it AM, PM?
Tranquility Base.
Tranquility Base. Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, the first one's a classic.
Yeah. Obviously, you got. I bet you look good down on the dance floors on you, so people will know this iconic album cover. Don't know if you could get away with smoking a cigarette anymore, but they'd be vaping now.
Yeah, it wouldn't look as good, would it?
It wouldn't look so good. Show you the inside. So this just came on black vinyl. I had a good deal on Amazon for this one, £10.
That's not bad.
It's good.
Brand new, a tenner. Done. I've been quite lucky with the Amazon drops recently. But what I find is you've got to pull the trigger on it as soon as you see it, because if you go back a week later, it's gone back up to full price. So, yeah. Arctic Monkeys. Thought I'd show that one for this evening. So, there you go. Right, Cam, over to you, mates. Keep it going. We've got about half an hour left, so let's go.
I was going to go with them as well. But... All right, there you go. I was going to go with Humbug, which is quite different to that debut album, actually, but because it started to get a bit more heavier and a bit murkier. And you had Josh Homme come in on production and James Ford as well, so they changed up their sound. So I'll go somewhere different. I'll go up to Newcastle, and we'll go with another band from that era, actually, that Arctic Monkeys exploded on. It was, or is, Maximo Park, A Certain Trigger. For me, in the 2005 period, this is produced by Paul Epworth, and he was just an absolute Svengali on production throughout that whole kind of 2004 to 2006. He launched so many bands' debut albums in that period, and all of them are absolute crackers. This one included. I don't think Maximo Park ever bettered this album, unfortunately, but like every song on here could be a single. Just absolutely fantastic work. It's very like, again, like Gang of Four. I like the Jam to some degree, but then you've got some real like lovely lyrical poetry from Paul Smith, the lead singer, and he's just got a very distinctive tone and very distinctive delivery in his vocals. And you would have heard Apply Some Pressure or Graffiti probably going missing as well. But yeah, I love this album. It's fantastic from start to finish. The only downside to it is it sounds absolutely awful on vinyl because it's just so compressed. I don't know what happened with the mastering on this. It just sounds terrible. So I rarely ever play it, and I bought the original just for collectability. Very disappointed when it turned up, and I was like, oh, it sounds crap. But yeah, fantastic album still. Just an excellent one to just crank in the car. And yeah, if you like Gang of Four and you like that kind of like indie angular guitar music, you'll like this. So there you go. Maximo Park, Certain Trigger.
Yeah, I'm not going to click on it because the screen's going to change. But Richard's saying, so Maximo Park here in Denver have their first 3 or 4 albums. So he's a fan as well. So
yeah, they're cracking live band as well, actually. Like, yeah, fantastic live band.
Yeah, I saw them in Lowlands. They were brilliant. Or no, sorry,
Yeah.
it wasn't Lowlands. I saw them at Hasselt Music Festival in Belgium. They're brilliant.
Oh, nice.
Really good.
Nice.
Yeah, Rob saying that's a good one, Cam. I'll stick with the CD.
Yeah, don't waste the money on the the vinyl.
Right. Okay. We'll keep rocking and rolling. Okay. Wow, we didn't change screens. What happened there?
Yeah, get rid of me.
I don't know what's happening tonight. It's doing by nothing. And now his camera's frozen. Hang on. Right, Jack, help us.
Right. When you told us that we were going to be looking at rock, I was thinking about the kind of epicenters for rock across the UK. So obviously Liverpool and Manchester, London, Birmingham. I thought, and of course East Kilbride, one of the big epicenters from rock in Scotland. It's one of the satellite towns of Glasgow. This is the fantastic Jesus and Mary Chain with their second album, Darklands, from '87. And yeah, just love this. Obviously, the first album is the album that is the iconic album that's just drenched in feedback and distortion. And it's like kind of a bit of a sonic masterpiece. For me, this is where their tunes really came out. They stripped away all the distortion, all the feedback, and underneath it all. And the songs are there on the first album as well, but I think they're even better, I think, on this. You get songs like April Skies is a beauty. I think that was one of their biggest singles. Darklands, the opening track, is amazing. This song here, Cherry Came Too, I think back to like the late 80s where I first started moving away from the Beatles and the Stones and kind of get into, they were like my parents' music, and starting to get into indie music, the Stone Roses and the Happy Mondays. I loved all the Manchester scene. And there was always like mixtapes going around. Everybody was making each other mixtapes, which was brilliant. But a lot of the time on your mixtape, you didn't have the track listing. And I remember I had Cherry Came Too on a mixtape. And for ages, I didn't know who it was that did it. I just knew that I loved it, and such a brilliant song. Jesus and Mary Chain, obviously the Reed brothers, Jim and William Reed. And yeah, when you think of like fighting brothers, obviously whether the Gallagher's or Ray Davies and Dave Davies, the Reed brothers were right up there. They absolute just caning it all the time on the drink and on the drugs, and it spilled over into the live performances. Their early performances, when they first started, they had Bobby Gillespie on drums. By this time, Bobby Gillespie was gone, kind of focus on Primal Scream. They'd brought in a drum machine, and you could never tell it. It's so tastefully done. But those early gigs, you know, I think they would play for 10 minutes. They would turn up unannounced to just blag their way onto a stage, play for 10 minutes with their back to the audience. They wouldn't say a word. It would be like 10 minutes of feedback, and they would just get bottled and spat on until they left the stage. And basically, a lot of their gigs ended up in riots. They're notoriously riotous gigs, those early gigs. But they kind of stuck it out and persevered and had a brilliant career. I think I love the Jesus and Mary Chain. Just they had like a kind of singular vision and went with it. Yeah, this is a tremendous album. It's really, really good. Very indebted, I suppose, to that kind of Phil Spector wall of sound, kind of production style, and all those fantastic girl groups of the 60s, like the Shangri-Las and the Ronettes and all that kind of thing. You can really hear it in their drum beats and in their bass lines. But yeah, excellent stuff. Can't recommend them enough, the Jesus and Mary Chain. So that's Darklands from 87.
I think you're asking for trouble if you pull your back on the crowd.
What's that?
I think you're asking for trouble you pull your back on the crowd.
Oh yeah, they didn't give a fuck. They just did what they wanted to do. And I think they're still trying to find their sound, I think, at that time, and probably try to find their audience as well. But once it clicked for them, they were probably one of the biggest indie bands of the period, and certainly one of the most influential.
Great band. I've only got Psycho Candy, Jack, but you said Darklands is a progression on that, is it?
It is for me, but I would say most people would probably prefer Psycho Candy. Psycho Candy is more iconic, I think, because of the feedback and all the distortion. And you know that way, Harvey, where you listen to Psycho Candy for a while and all those beautiful melodies start to kind of bubble to the surface, which are maybe not apparent in your first few listens. Darklands is more easily accessible, so Darklands would probably be a good one to start with. It's not as difficult to get into, but probably not as iconic.
It's you listen to Psycho Candy, and it does sound like a 60s garage group with almost more like Phil Spector, Wall of Sound stuff. Was it a band? Is My Bloody Valentine? Sound, but it's still that wall of sound with melodies.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Cool. That's kind of another band, Jack, that I viewed of. Didn't know the backstory, so thanks for that. I just didn't have a clue about the drug use and trying to find themselves. And
they had and then they did a reunion album about, what was it, about a year or two ago, called Glasgow Eyes, which is really good. It's a bit more synth heavy, but that's a good album as well. And they've had, kind of over the years, they've had a number of comebacks. They probably grew up a little bit because they were young and very private, you know, as much as they were quite kind of chaotic and kind of anarchic on stage. I think they were essentially really shy guys. They were quiet guys, and they didn't do a lot of interviews. They weren't big ones for the press, but certainly when they got on stage, they were just kind of a bit wild. Not in the way that they projected themselves, but in the kind of aggression and nature of their music. It kind of turned the crowds a bit wild.
Jack, this one's for you. Darklands is excellent. The critics never got past Physio Candy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
but the heart wants what the heart wants, Chris.
Yes.
I want Darklands. I love Darklands. It's brilliant. And maybe because it was the first one I heard, that Cherry Came To. I literally had that on a mixtape for about a year before I knew it was the Jesus and Mary Chain. And I loved it. I was trying to track it down and try to find out who it was that did it. And I loved that as a kind of young teenager. Swapping tapes was so much fun. And such a great way to discover new music.
I used to have a double deck tape.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, brilliant.
To record the top 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case there's no youngsters watching this, but it just brings back, when people say cassettes to me, it just takes me back to that time in my bedroom trying to tell the DJ to shut the hell up, stop talking, because I'm
Yeah.
trying to record the music.
Yeah,
That was
on
the
a
first-
bootleg here.
Yeah, that was probably the first part of pirated when you think about it, guys.
That was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, okay. Let's keep things moving. Harvey, over to you, mate. What have you got there?
Yeah, I'm going to go with an obvious one from Manchester. It's not Oasis, though. I'm going to go with the Stone Roses debut LP,
Nice.
1989. And if you're buying that at the same time, I think you should at the same time buy the Fool's Gold 12-inch, which is still reasonably priced, the full, almost 10-minute version. So I missed Stone Roses on their first arrival because in 1989 I was a metalhead. So I'm not joking. My favorite band in 1989 was bloody Motley Crue, right? And Def Leppard and Rat and Dokken. I remember being in sixth form and the real hipsters putting the Stone Roses on and lamenting them and singing and saying, "Lads, this is shit." And how wrong I was because, reading my words, this is an incredible LP. Everything from the sequencing to the songs, from "I Want to Be Adored" to "She Bangs the Drum," all the way through to that 8 minutes plus. I think it is "I Am Resurrection" at the end. I'm the Resurrection at the end. This to me is miles ahead of anything the Oasis did, despite their reunion tour last year. So I think essential of any record collection is the Stone Roses debut. If you like any form of indie rock, and I think if you're in the record shop and you see Fool's Gold in its full version, buy that at the same time. And this is a great night in to listen to these two with a few, either with a friend or on your own. But yeah, I think this is an amazing album, and I wish I could go back to 1989 and tell myself that Motley Crue's Girls was absolute bollocks, and that I should listen to Stone Roses in the sixth form. Owen words. So there you go. Obvious one, but it's a great album. Great British rock album.
Hindsight. Yeah.
That would be a life changer for me, Harvey. When I heard that, that was like the life-changing album for me.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. I can imagine, but hey, look, the madness of youth, I didn't realise at the time, Jack.
I tell you, I could go through so many bands that I show now in VC videos that at the time I was quite snooty when I was younger, and like I would just turn my nose up at, you know, whether it be dance music or certain indie music, like Swede, for instance.
Yeah.
I had no interest in them. I thought that the Swede were just a shit David Bowie ripoff. And now, like, I've got a Swede box set, which I absolutely love. So many brilliant songs, and I wish that I could go back and have enjoyed them, you know, in the period when they were releasing music, because at the time I just dismissed them.
Yeah, I guess it's just maturity in your
Yeah,
taste.
Yeah.
Okay, so Beaners, what happened there? What is going on here? Beaners, you discussed them tonight. I was going to show them, but I'll just fast track these. Oasis. What's the Story? Morning Glory, the 30th anniversary Super Deluxe box set. So there's that one. I'm glad he showed it because I didn't have to show it. It's the best of the Stone Roses. I thought I was going to show that one tonight. But let's go with the big one. Let's go with Queen. I've got 3 greatest hits. This one, the number 2, and then the third one, which was live in Wembley. But I've showed that before. But you've got some stompers on here. I'll show you the inside. I think most people got this greatest hits, right? It's pretty well known out there. Yeah, Harvey's going to grab his now. So you've got another one, Bicycle Death, Killer Queen, Fat Bottom Girls, Somebody to Love, Bicycle Race, You're My Best Friend, Don't Stop Me Now, Play the Game, Flash, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions. So there you go. That is this on? Yeah, it's just on Black White. So there you go. So I've covered the Stone Roses, I've covered Oasis, and now I've covered Queen. So I had a feeling somebody would show a Stone Roses album, so I'm not going to do it justice with the greatest hits, the best of, right? So, Harvey, that one's to you, mate. Right? You did a good job on that.
With an intensity, right? And then during lockdown, just before the first lockdown, in my local record store, I saw this box set of the complete works by Queen for something like 60 quid, and I thought I'll bugger it. And I bought it, and it completely changed my view of Queen. I love them now, but it was just because I'm a cheapo Geordie from the northeast. I thought, I've got to get it. But yeah, it did completely change. So this is all of their albums up to I don't know, what is it? What the One Vision 12-inch or something, but it's amazing. Yeah, changed my, I got that
How
box
much
set.
was that?
60 quid. It's worth about £300 now.
Right.
I was going to say.
It's a good
Oh.
deal.
So I just got it because not because I was going to flip it, but I just thought it's 60 quid. Pass it up. But when I really listened to it, it completely changed my view. There you go.
Yeah, they're going for like 300-400 quid on Amazon now. There's one out, the coloured. They've released the box set of all the albums on coloured vinyl, and that's going for like a ridiculous amount of money now. It's insane.
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
band. Ain't a great band.
Right, last 15 minutes then. Cam?
Cool. We'll go back to Manchester. So many bands I could pick from Manchester because it's like one of the greatest musical cities in the world, not just the UK. But yeah, I'm going to go with an album from. I could have picked the Smiths, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pick the next best thing, in my opinion, and that is an album from Johnny Marr. It's not his debut album as a solo artist, but because I think he had the Boomslangers, and technically, he obviously went with electronic and things like that. But this is just a cracking album under his kind of solo name, The Messenger. It's right what you want from Johnny Marr. Just incredible guitar work across this record. Very direct, very Paul Weller-esque. I'd say in its delivery, and there's even like some like kind of like early 60s pop influence, because obviously Johnny Marr is really big into his like 60s bands, is like Bo Diddley and things like that, the Ronettes. I can hear a lot of that in here. Yeah, it's a fantastic record. It's got my favourite Johnny Marr song on here, his solo album. So actually, I'm trying to think, is it my favourite? No, I went, yeah, Newtown Velocity. It's my favourite track by him. Just fantastic song. Yeah, and great record as well. So if you like Johnny Marr, if you like the Smiths, this is just an easy win for you, I think, as well. And they've just reissued this. So yeah, grab it. The Messenger.
Didn't he release a live album last year?
He's released like 3, I think, since he's been going out by himself, well, with his band. Yeah, he did. He did last year, and he's released another one, and a greatest hits as well. Which is cocky at this stage, but hey, there you go. Start there, mate. Start there. I know you'll want to.
It's like if I got an option these days, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jack, over to you, mate.
Alrighty, so right at the start, Harvey showed Badfinger. And I was going to show Badfinger as well. And I wanted to show some Welsh psych because I think I called Wales in one of my earlier videos the trippiest nation on earth. So I wanted to show some of the coolest psych from Wales. So this is from '94. It's Gorky Zygotic Monkey with Bwyd Time. And this is really, really cool. Psych during Britpop, where everybody else was wetting their knickers over the Kinks and wearing suits and looking like tits, these guys were taking magic mushrooms, dressing up as druids and just going crazy in fields. Check these dudes out. So
Wow.
absolutely brilliant. This is really good stuff. The main guy, let's see who's in here. Oh, I forgot. Euros Childs. So this guy pretending to be a magician or that's Euros Childs there. He now plays with Teenage Fan Club. He was the main singer and keyboard player, but just really, really cool. It's quite folky, this, in places, very noisy in other places. Some great tracks on here. The Game of Eyes is a kind of neo-psych masterpiece. Blood Chant's really, really good as well. Miss Trudy is fantastic. I love that one. It's a song that they wrote about their music teacher in school. So when they put this out, like this band were going from about the age of like 13 or 14. They put out their first EPs and singles when they were about 15. And this song, Miss Trudy, was about their music teacher when they were in high school and how when she got annoyed, she threw violins across the room. And it's really cool. It's got like cool recorders and very trippy psych sound and great lyrics as well. But they're such a good band, Gorky Zygotic Monkey. Chris, I'm sure you can tell us what Bwyd Time means. Half of the songs are sung in Welsh, So I'm going to test your knowledge, Chris.
Oh,
What
shit.
about Pied Cheetah or Palm?
The fuck you saying?
Pied Cheetah or Palm? Araphis Wine Delphi? Oh, fuck knows, the telescope and the bonfire. I can get on board with that one. But yeah, lots of. I think there was a kind of movement called, was it Cool Cymru? Where there was
Cool Camry.
Yeah. Where you had Gorky Zygotic Monkey, bands like Super Funny Animals, and all these great Welsh 90s bands. So I wanted to show this just very, very quickly. This is a modern Welsh side band who are brilliant as well, called El Gudo. So they recorded this album in Resolving Miners' Welfare.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is. But I
Yeah,
love the names of the band. El Gudo are Jason Jones, Pixie Jones, Elliot Jones, and Louis Sears. But they're freaking brilliant. So good, like a Welsh choral. El Gudo, check them out there. They've got 4 albums and they're all winners. Really good. So yeah, had to get some Welsh psychedelic rock in there.
You always know when you're in Wales if you've got Joneses or Evans or Davises.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember when I was a kid, somebody came to me, "What's your name?" I said, "Oh, Chris Mann." Well, that's not very Welsh. Have you got a Jones in your family? Then? I don't know, but yeah, cool. Morton will probably be checking that out because he loves it.
Morton knows all those bands.
Yeah, he knows more than I do. Cool. Well done, mate. Right. Okay. Now, I have to ask the question, Harvey. Are you going to show any Newcastle bands tonight?
I am not.
Right, okay.
On Maximum Park have already been shown. Police have already been shown. One member from Newcastle. It's a bit shit, Newcastle, for music, if we're honest, isn't it?
The Animals.
Yeah, but not having. I didn't think like that. My last choice is actually an artist from Dorset, PJ Harvey, and this is her album "Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea," which was released in the millennia. It's my favorite PJ Harvey album. She was criticised on this for going too commercial. I think it was just the music critics' way of saying it's the songs on this rather than it just being caustic. I think she really tried on this to make it song orientated. You know, songs like "This Is Love," which was a big single, and "Good Fortune" and "Big Exit." You've got Tom York featuring on 2 or 3 tracks on here as well. It's probably one of the best produced PJ Harvey albums, and I still think she's underrated. I don't know if she's a big artist in the States or not. Obviously, she's well known in the UK and almost a household name. I would say almost in the UK. Possibly still lots of people who don't know who PJ Harvey is. But yeah, amazing artist. Lots of great albums. Obviously, you've got albums like "Rid of Me" and "Dry" and to Bring You My Love. But for me, "Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea." That's peak PJ Harvey, and I still think she's vastly underrated. So that's my choice of the evening.
Yeah, just Rich. I think you'd enjoy PJ Harvey. If Richard Vinyl Tap House still here, I think if you haven't, I think you will really enjoy. I think it's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think she did break the States at all, did she? I don't think so. There was that song she did with Nick. I don't think she broke in the States at all.
I don't think I used to work in America. I don't think she was, and I think she's had a bit of how can I put this? I think down to Record Store Day, the releases that she's been having from her older stuff being reissued for some reason. I think she's got more traction now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think who else she worked with on an album. It's not Wilco. Was it Wilco?
not
somebody? Yeah, but yeah, she's cool. Cool to check out. Really, really enjoy her. Yeah, good choice, mate. Right. There's only one place I can go. So, David, if you've stayed around long enough, use your Stereophonics. I was gonna do it, wasn't I? I was like, well, whatever. Language, Sex, Violence, and Other. This one has got Dakota, the number one single. That's the only one number one single they've ever had. Good artwork on the inside. So on this one, you got Superman, Doorman, Devil, Dakota, Deadhead, Real. This came on a kind of cool see-through pink vinyl. So limited edition from this store itself. So yeah, that's the Stereophonics. One of the most successful British bands of all time, and obviously the biggest export out of Wales, if you're not counting Tom Jones. So there you go. Stereophonics, my favorite band of all time, which you kind of guessed if you see my channel in the last 5 years. Wasn't going to show it, but I know it'll piss the max off to Mr. David Atkinson. So I thought, right, let's show it. So there you go. Right, guys, this has been amazing this evening. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I usually go to the 2-hour mark. We'll go around the panel real quick. Can I tell people, what's coming up on the channel, if anything is coming up on the channel? Harvey, let's go to you first. What's coming up with you, mate?
Yeah, two things. So I do something named Friday Night Vinyl, which ironically seems to be posted on a Saturday or Sunday. So I need to get that actually posted on a Friday. The other thing I'm doing is a series named What's the Fuss About, where I select an artist or a genre and see what's the fuss. So I've done one about Cheap Trick, and so I'm going to go around a few. But I did a little feed as well. So they're the two things I'm doing: Friday Night Vinyl and What's the Fuss About, where I choose a lesser known artist or genre. That's my channel.
That's cool. I'm enjoying that. It's a good series. I am enjoying it. It's really good. Yeah, if you're saying Friday, it needs to go out on Friday.
It does indeed. Basic stuff, right?
Cam, what's coming up on your channel, mate?
So I filmed one this morning actually. My March vinyl pickups. So that I'm going to release that tomorrow because I finished editing it just for this. And then I'm going to do my controversial video that I hinted at the start was I'm going to look at the top 10 greatest rock albums of all time, and none of them featured tonight actually. So no, some of them did. One of them, but not from me. So yeah, that'll be coming soon, and that might be a two-parter. I think this is a really long video.
Cool.
That's me.
Jack, what have you got coming up, mate?
Yeah, just really the quiz. That'll be my main focus next week. Three different head-to-heads will be filmed next week, and then hopefully I'll get it up and running next week as well. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Just one thing though, before I go, listen to this song, Half Man, Half Biscuit, Record Store Day. Very timely because Record Store Day is right round the corner. But if there's a better satirical song about Record Store Day out at the moment, I would love to hear it. Record Store Day by Half Man, Half Biscuit. Listen to that and you'll be a lifelong fan.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, nice.
Love it.
Jack, if anybody wants to be on the quiz, how do they contact you? Through Instagram and stuff, or just leave a message?
Because it's like a knockout format, every single round, all the banks of questions are made up for every round. So the first round, the second round, all the way to the final, prior to me doing the draws, so that there can be no, there's a question on the Stereophonics. Chris will definitely get that. So I've got to make sure that that it's fair. So it's all randomised, and all the banks of questions are made up prior to the quiz taking place. So all the people who take part in it are all arranged at the start of the year, kind of thing. But yeah, just reach out and say that you want to do it. Like the first year that I did it, there was so many people who didn't want to take part, or say that they didn't want to. They were apprehensive about taking part. So I really take my hat off to all the people who took part, and they kind of a wee step into the unknown because they didn't know what it was going to kind of look like. Whereas this year, there was loads of people who wanted to take part, and probably the big difference this year is there's far more American contestants. So there's like Robert Fithin taking part, Jane's Addiction, Mazzy's taking part. We've got Canadians taking part, Austrians, Australians. We've got Brian from the Institute of Pop, and as before, lots of English contestants, and one Scot as well. So got Gordon from I Dig Vinyl. leading the charge for the Scottish. So yeah, it should be good. It should be good fun. And I was going to do it a wee bit later, but because with the World Cup coming up and talking about going away on holidays and stuff, I thought people are ready now. I'll just push it out, and it was well received last year, so hopefully it will be again this year.
I enjoyed it last year with Rob and David.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant. So like people had said to me, "Oh, you did really well to manage Rob and David," and I thought I didn't manage Rob and David at all. I just sat back and just let them carry on. It was brilliant. Like ones like that were really easy to do because all I had to do was now and again push them along for a question, but you know their entertainment value was off the scale. It was really funny, and yeah, like I said, it was just played in such a great spirit last year, and it was still competitive, which I liked. I didn't want it to be wishy-washy in the fact that people didn't really care. People were in it to win it. Like there was no mistake about that. Like Gav wanted to win it, John did, Midge did. They all wanted to win. So I liked it. I liked the balance was brilliant. It's really good.
Cool. I'll put leave in the description below everybody's channel, so you can go and all check them out. Go and subscribe. They've got amazing channels in the vinyl community itself. Very knowledgeable. New pickups, Rhino, and other stuff. Just quickly on my side, I'm still planning to go to Spillers in Cardiff, the oldest record shop in the world, and speak to the manager, interview the manager, and go back behind the scenes, kind of how the day-to-day of running of the oldest record shop in the world happens, and cover a record store day. I may wait till after record store day and then gonna have a chat because I think they're gonna be kind of busy up until that point. Bought the Nebraska 82 this week, the box set, so I'm kind of happy about that. Been waiting a while for it to drop. Got it from Rough Trade for a good price. I think I paid £20 because they cancelled 2 of my orders. So I was like, right, now's the chance. Let's get Nebraska. Very, very happy. I was so excited. I sent a picture to Cam. Look what I got.
Yeah. I genuinely thought you had it. I didn't think you.
Yeah, so I added Vinyl Me Please, the grey one. So, but I wanted the box set. I wanted the outtakes. I wanted the electric version. I wanted all that kind of because I'm getting big into Bruce at the moment. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's a great box set.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thanks to the panel. It's been amazing tonight. Really enjoyed it. Go and check out their channels. I'll put a description below. Everybody's left messages. Everybody's going to watch this later. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much from all of us. Have a great evening, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.